edition of My Blue Heaven. If you're new to the channel, welcome. And if you're old to the channel, thank you for subscribing. And also thank you once again for all your wonderful feedback that you've been giving throughout this season. And there's no doubt after this show that I'm going to probably get a lot of feedback considering what transpired yesterday. So let's get going. Last week, if you watched my review of the Sydney game, I started with a tweet I put out 3 hours before that game, basically along the lines that I felt guilty because I went into that feeling flat and not giving a shit. And it was me sooking it up. It was basically me sooking it up. And the football club that I support made me pay for that by putting in an unbelievable second half to win that game. This week, okay, I wanted to change tact. I'm up and about, okay. I pumped our tyres up last week about spirit and unity. We've still got a lot of concerns in regards to class. But I spoke about our spirit at least, that we're getting some pride back for the jumper. I spoke about that. So on Thursday, the 10th of September, 4 days before our game against the Crow, Bryce Gibbs announced his retirement. Okay, the former Blue, the former 200 game player, best and fairest winner. And we all liked Bryce Gibbs, don't get me wrong. I'm not potting Bryce Gibbs at all here. But when he announced his retirement and he was playing that game against us, there was a lot of Carlton supporters who just went, oh, wow, his heart was always been with Carlton. And it was just, it went on and on and on. Okay, so I jumped on. I wanted to be aggressive. Okay, I wanted to get on and I wanted to spark a little bit of feeling, okay, in let's be ruthless. Okay, let's be ruthless here. No sentiment, okay, no sentiment until after the game. For fuck's sake, we've got a game to play. Let's leave all the fucking mushy shit. Let's leave all the mushy shit to later on, okay? Because it's going to bite us in the fucking arsehole. Okay, so this is what I wrote 4 days, okay, before our game and probably only 15 minutes after the press conference by Bryce Gibbs. How bizarre Bryce Gibbs playing his last game against us. I'm bypassing the soppy tribute stuff. Bryce checked out a footy about 2 years ago. Let's give him the right royal send-off first by smashing the living suitcases out of Adelaide. Then we can get teary if we like. But let's smash the fucking suitcases out of them first. Okay, and let's get Bryce Gibbs a hug and a kiss and welcome him back to the club. And then we can say his heart's always been with Carlton. But what transpired was peak modern day Carlton Football Club in a nutshell. Gift wrapped and handed to us on a fucking platter. Modern day Carlton. So everything that happened yesterday, okay, highlighted everything about us, but also everything that we aren't. So let us go through what we are and what we have become. All right, and none of this, don't take offense to this, but this is what we have become. And maybe this is just the progression. Maybe this is the progression into becoming a powerhouse once again. But this is what we have become. We've become the leaders in being respectful. We've become the leaders in promoting social issues, and there's nothing wrong with that. So please, once again, don't take offence. But we're the leaders. I reckon the best football club in the country at the moment in promoting social issues, whatever that may be. Violence against women, racism, gender equality. Oh, we're just fabulous at it. So please don't take that the wrong way. We're leaders in being nice, okay? We never have any of our young players in trouble. God help, okay, if any of our players, okay, ended up like Sydney Stack, okay? Who was the other one? Coleman fucking Jones or whatever his name is. God help us. Oh, no. We're not like that, okay? Let's point the finger at Richmond. Oh, okay? We're the leaders at being friendly. We're the leaders at welcoming back our former players who've left the club and saying that their heart's always been with us. We're great at that. Okay? So we take solace in the fact that Bryce Gibbs, his heart's with us. We're a wonderful club. Of course his heart's with us. He left us 3 years ago. Okay, he wanted to go home, but his heart's with us. That's fantastic. That's actually more important than winning, as long as his heart's with us. Same with Eddie Betts. Okay? The same with Eddie Betts. Oh, Eddie, his heart's always been with Carlton. He can hardly get a kick this year, but shit. Okay, he wanted to come home. Okay, the fact of the matter is he just played his best football at Adelaide for however long. All Australians, leading goal kicker, freak. Okay, he comes back here and he's just bloody useless as a footballer, but that's okay. His heart's with us, though. His heart's with us. Okay, it makes us feel good. It makes us feel really good. So we forget about the football side of things because we've got all that other stuff sorted out. Yeah, we've got all that other stuff sorted out. But yesterday also proved what we're not. We're not ruthless. We haven't got a hard edge. We weren't there to spoil Bryce's party. We're not merciless, brutal, fierce. We're not ferocious or relentless. We're soft, we're meek, we're as weak as piss. That was as weak as piss yesterday. I acknowledge that we're probably tired. I acknowledge that, okay? And I acknowledge that stupidly in a tweet at halftime that they were physically and mentally cooked. But I knew we were in trouble. I knew we were in trouble with all the soft platitudes before the game in regards to Bryce. I knew that we wouldn't be able to go out there and get the fucking job done because we were spending too much time being nice. Let's have a look at what Bryce did yesterday. This is Bryce who checked out of football. He's been out of football really for 2 years. He's had 2 games this year. He had played round 1 against Sydney. He had 7 disposals. He played round 9 against North Melbourne. He had 12. That's how bad he'd been. He had 27 fucking disposals yesterday and 21 of them were uncontested. He was hugging and high-fiving Carlton players before the game. He was giving us winks. He tossed the fucking coin and Cripper, okay, went like that and they were smiling at each other. He waltzed around on a half-back flank like he fucking owned the joint. That's his 3rd game for the year, a bloke who's done and dusted, and he picks up 27 disposals. And we're supposed to be pushing for finals. We're supposed to be pushing for finals and building. We're supposed to be building something, a culture. Oh, it fucking makes my fucking blood boil. Not one of our players, not one, okay, laid a bump on him. Not one of them went up to him before the game. I saw him go down into the back half. I saw him. Not one went up to him. Okay, fair enough, shake his bloody hand, but then the next one is a push. Fuck you, mate. Okay, you might be finishing up your career and you might be welcome back to our football club after today, but you're in for one hell of a contest. You're going to hit the dirt straight away, okay? And you're not getting your 27 possessions. Did we have that in us? No. Instead, we just let Adelaide do what they fucking liked and we just let Bryce do what he liked for 4 quarters. That is an indictment on every player that took the field for our football club yesterday. Okay, that is an indictment. I did not enjoy for 1 second Bryce Gibbs being carried off the ground yesterday. I did not enjoy it. I wasn't comfortable with it. What I would have been comfortable with is that they ground his fucking head into the dirt for 4 quarters, then carried him off. This is what we've become. This is what we have become. And I've been sticking up. I've been sticking up for these players and this coach for the whole year, okay? But there comes a time when enough is enough, and that yesterday is enough as far as I'm concerned. Okay, this is unacceptable. And there is only so much time that you can go into bat. And I've gone into the bat for David Teague all throughout this year. All through this year, I've gone into bat. For him and the players for the most part. Again, I'm quite happy to maybe look stupid. But this is the type of shit that we've had to put up with for a long time from our football club. And this is what they do to us. They pretend, they talk and they pretend. And as I said, you can only go into bat for so long. It's a bit like facing, I've never faced Mitchell Johnson, but imagine him facing Mitchell Johnson at his very best, and you're on the back foot and you're dodging and dodging and dodging, and hit and defend and defend. Eventually, you just got to go on the attack. I mean, there has been zero, as far as I'm concerned, apart from the spirit and the willingness to fight and get back into the games, and and the general contested ball, I just don't think there has been really an improvement since round 12 last year when David Teague took over. Well, there hasn't been, as far as I'm concerned, which to me is unacceptable. And I understand it's been an unusual season. Especially for a team, okay, with a new coach and is just taking over. So I take that on board. But that yesterday, that took us back. So let's have a look at just some of the concerning things. Okay, someone asked me how many goalless quarters have we had this season? We've had 10 goalless quarters this season. Round 1 against Melbourne, round 3 against Geelong. So round 2 against Melbourne, first quarter. Round 3, Geelong, fourth quarter. Round 4, Essendon. So the opening 4 rounds, goalless quarters, when it's nice and dry. Second quarter, that was against Essendon. Then there was a break, okay? We got our act together for a little period there between 4 and round 8, okay, with the bye. All right, but there was some quarters there where we only kicked 1. Then it's happened. Fremantle. When you think your season should be building, all right? Round 12, Fremantle, first quarter. Round 14, Collingwood, third quarter and fourth quarter. Round 15, GWS, second quarter and fourth quarter. They're my 2 most important games of the year as far as I'm concerned. Then against 2 of the bottom teams in the competition, round 16 and round 17, respectively, Sydney, first quarter, Adelaide, first quarter. That's 10 scoreless quarters from a football team that prides itself at the start of the year, okay, from David Teague, that we're going to be more attacking and exciting. That is concerning. Okay, that is concerning. Disposal efficiency. We can keep talking about, okay, skill and class. Okay, but disposal efficiency. We're talking about the team that we played yesterday. Okay, were being compared, okay, to the Fitzroy team of 1996. That's how bad they were. Okay. They went at 74% disposal efficiency yesterday. We went at 68, okay, in perfect conditions. This one's the more concerning one because this is the trend. This continues. Efficiency inside forward 50. 44 inside 50s apiece yesterday, okay? 44 each. We went at 45% efficiency inside 50. The Crows, a building team full of young kids, went at 61%. 61%. And this has been consistent for us in the second half of this season. And Adelaide have been talked about, as I said, as the worst football side since 1996. Okay? And worse than us, okay, in our worst years. That's how bad they were. So I acknowledge that we look cooked, we look spent. Okay, and the reason why I acknowledge that because Walsh and Ed Curnow, two of our hardest workers, could hardly lift their feet off the ground. So that brings me to my next point about player management. And how much of this have we got wrong? How the fuck did Sam Docherty even play yesterday? Okay, there needs to be a fucking inquiry into that. How he could have taken the field yesterday. Blind Freddie could have seen that he shouldn't have played. He was done and dusted before half time. How the hell did Patrick Cripps play against GWS? And then David Teague mentions that he had an injury. And he said yesterday Docherty brought an injury in. So who's making these decisions at the football club? Is it the players? Is it the fitness staff? Is it the coach? Who's in control? Because that is unacceptable. The 2 blokes who play every game for the year and probably deserve a rest at some stage can just put their hand up and say, I'm going to play. I mean, Cripps, for a start, okay, it's almost like he's played the whole season, and I wrapped him up last week because I think his leadership's been okay. But he's played the whole season, okay, about half an hour behind. It's like his alarm hasn't gone off. Okay, it's been staggering the amount of times he's started a game with just no impact at all. But there's been no change. Let's leave him in the centre of the ground. There's been no change. Where has been the mix-up? Okay, if he's not starting well because he's too slow or his reaction time is down, then get him somewhere else. Push him forward and bring some spark into the middle and change it around a bit. But God knows how many times that Patrick Cripps has started the game so poorly, and just been well off the pace. What has been changed up? Why does Matt Owies come in and play one game? One game. Sure, he didn't win a lot of it, but he was running around and providing, okay, a bit of spark, okay, and then suddenly we decide to bring Eddie Betts back, okay, almost like a farewell game himself. It's not going to be a farewell game. But what did Eddie provide yesterday? He fell over, he's dropping marks. Lockie O'Brien comes back into the team. It looks like he's been fucking eating donuts. I don't know, he just looked unfit and overweight and slow. What the hell's gone on there? And soft, okay, the first 2 or 3 contests, just soft. So at least we get him back into the team to, I don't know, show us a little bit of aggression and have you put some size on, show us a little bit more aggression, harder at the ball, but his first 2 contests were putrid. So who's talking to these young guys? Who's actually getting in their ear, okay? Who's actually working with them? And I've been saying, okay, we've got a good, we're developing better development of players behind the scenes. Same with Paddy Dow for his 2 or 3 games when he came back in, the same. So the way this team's been managed this year, it stinks of the pagan years, okay? For me, it stinks a little bit of the Dennis Pagan's first year at the football club. Remember when Pagan came in and he brought all these recruits in, okay, because we had the salary cap restrictions. And then I think it may have been in his second year that we won that pre-season cup competition against the West Eagles, the night game. Remember that? We won it because every bloody game we played in that competition, this is when the night competition used to be pretty big, every game we played in that, we played our best team possible. We didn't flood any youngsters. We just played our most experienced team in our best team possible, where all the other teams, they couldn't really give a shit. They were rotating players, young players, in and out, but we were like desperate to win it. This has been like Teague this year. He has not rotated players. It's been pretty much the core group right the way through to the point of now that they're absolutely, completely fucked. So poorly managed from my behalf. So I'm just going to finish off, okay? And I'm highly emotional with this today. I really am. Okay, and I'm at the point now where I'm going to continue to I don't know where I actually don't know where I'm at with this footy club right now. Okay, I'm willing to park the bus and just wait for next year now. I'll just park the bus and see what they can do over the off season, see if they can bring in whatever. Okay, because right now I'm just a little bit concerned. Right now, the likes of Richmond, the West Coast Eagles and Geelong, and probably Brisbane and Port Adelaide, that's a pipe dream. That's a pipe dream as far as I'm concerned. We're that far off that level, it's not funny. The benchmark for us, unfortunately, and there's nothing left for us this year. We've got Brisbane coming up, but there's nothing left. The season's over. But the benchmark for us, okay, next year, really, is Western Bulldogs, St Kilda and Melbourne. That's our benchmark. That's where we should be at. But we're not. Okay, instead, we're just fucking down with the drinks. So maybe that's maybe the trajectory. That's just where we're at. And maybe that's just the process. I don't know. I really don't know. But yesterday was unforgivable. And in fact, I don't think I'll forget yesterday. And you know what? This isn't about Bryce Gibbs. Congratulations on a great career, mate. Congratulations. But this is about us and the attitude we took into that game. And it told me so much about our football club. It's not funny. And we're really hard to follow. We're a really hard footy club to follow. I actually sat on that couch yesterday with my young family, who are all Carlton supporters, and I felt for them more than me. I mean, I've seen a bit of success. I saw us when we were powerful, and I hate going back to that. Okay, but we actually used to stand for something, and I've sort of forgotten that time. But at least I sort of saw it, I suppose. But I look at my kids now. You know, one of them's 21. I've got a 20-year-old and a 14-year-old and a 12-year-old. They haven't seen nothing. They've seen nothing. And to watch them yesterday, to watch that unfold yesterday, was really disappointing. They were just like, yeah, here we go again, Dad. So I'm going to leave it at that. I apologise for the swearing and the emotive language. Doesn't mean I don't love my footy club. It just means that we're just ho-hum. We're just ho-hum and meek. And I don't know how we're going to get out of it. It's going to be an interesting off-season. I'm actually confident in Nick Austin. I think a new set of eyes, and that's nothing against Steve Silvani, but I think a new set of eyes running across the list, maybe less emotion in the football club, although his dad did play, might be a good thing. And we're going to have to be ruthless. We're going to have to be merciless. We're going to have to be brutal and fierce, okay, if we want to get better, because we can't continue to be Mr. Nice Guy and Mr. Friendly. Catch you again soon.